Hello everyone and welcome back for another new speed build. So today's speed build is a teen hangout, kind of like a garage. So I kind of thought of this idea just because I had been watching a lot of other speed builds, and I realized as I was watching them that, I've never tried anything to really customize and make it just for teenagers. And I thought to myself, well, when I was in high school, there were a lot of people that, had bands and they would have band practice at a garage. And so obviously we know that we don't actually have garages in the Sims 4. So I just made it to kind of look like there was a garage there. And I just kind of wanted it to be like an abandoned kind of old rundown house, like nothing really fancy or extravagant. Like it's literally just an old hangout place. Maybe like one of the parents owns it as like an extra property and they just let their kids kind of have it as a hangout, or just in general, they just keep it as a kind of a local place. So I did here, this is where I actually tried to make the garage, and I was pretty proud with how it ended up looking. I wanted to keep it to like what I saw when I was a teenager and where a lot of my friends would go and hang out. And then I added this mini little balcony, or not balcony, but like a front porch area to go into this small area that's going to be the actual like interior of like a good hangout spot. So this side over here on the left with this deck or porch, whatever you want to call it, this is where they can actually go to play like video games or to watch movies, listen to music, just kind of hang out. And then the garage part is where they could actually play like their band instruments, and there's a bathroom over there as well for them. So here I wanted to create an atmosphere of like chill hangout without it being, too much. Like I kind of wanted to add like a bohemian feel, but then I decided against it because I still want to keep it to just, your regular kind of teen rocker kind of a vibe. And so I added in these columns here to, of course, add a covered front porch because I didn't want it to just be open to the elements, because I envision like as a teenager, I always enjoyed really like sitting out on the front porch and looking at thunderstorms and watching them. And so I thought that that would be something cool that maybe these teens would like to do. So I always have issues with roofs. Like I am just not skilled with roofs, guys. Like if you've got tips for how to work with roofs better, like maybe I just need to watch more tutorials on it and videos and just keep practicing. But yeah, I feel like that is my biggest struggle, is always roofing. I don't know what I'm saying. So yeah, I did want it to be brick all the way up to the top, so that is why I added in some like vinyl up at the top, because that is what a lot of houses looked like in my neighborhood and other places when I was growing up. So I kept the roofing to where I didn't want it to look too new, if you know what I mean, like too modern of a roof. So I try to keep it just really, downplayed in that sense. So over here, I added these windows that were long because this is the actual bathroom, and you don't want giant windows so that people can just look in and be like, hey, what you doing? You taking a dump? You know, you feel me? So yeah. So with the idea of this, I put a really big driveway because if this is a hangout, like people are going to be coming and going all the time. And so obviously we don't have cars, so you know what we do here? We just take those toy cars and we just make them big. So yeah, over here is the back entrance, well, really the only entrance to the actual garage, since the garage door does not actually open itself. So yeah, I added some plants here because I want it to look a little bit, overgrown, kind of abandoned, but not too much, like, I mean, it's not completely abandoned, obviously, it is still kept, but, it's not the priority. So we're just going to say, for the sake of this build, that one of the teens in the neighborhood, their parents own this lot and decided to just let their kids have it as a hangout for their band practice and for everything else. So I did add a fence here to kind of, privatize it just a little bit. There is not a gate for this kind of fence, and I realized that when I was working with it, and it kind of bothers me. Like, does that bother anybody else? Like, there's not really a good gate to go with this style of fence, and that just is really bothersome for me. But Yeah. Anyways, so here are the cars. So you just take your little toy cars, you just make them bigger. And, a lot of the teens at my school, they had trucks, they had all sorts of different cars and vans and whatnot, depending on who was coming to hang out, sports cars, depending on the parents. And so, yeah, we have a full driveway here because we are pretending that everyone is here already hanging out. They are excited, they are ready to play. And then I also wanted to create a fun little hangout spot. I mean, obviously, if this is like a full on teen hangout, like after their band garage practice or playing video games on the weekends, they can grill and they can sit around here with their camp chairs and have a bonfire, eat some food, roast some marshmallows, make some s'mores, like that'd be freaking awesome. Like I would love to do that. I did have a friend who when I was in high school, he had a crazy huge house, but they had this whole bonfire pit down at the bottom. And like every weekend, like I would go over to his house and we would play guitar. And he would play guitar. I would usually sing, but yeah, I kind of learned guitar a little bit from him, but I wasn't great. But yeah, anyways, side note. Yeah, we'd have bonfires over there, and it was just super fun, and it was kind of just like a really chill, laid back area. So that kind of inspired me for this build to give it that same kind of atmosphere that I remember when I would go over to his house. And like his parents were super chill and just let us do pretty much whatever we wanted. And yeah, they were pretty well off. They had like an indoor swimming pool and everything. It was crazy. But I honestly, I didn't don't really I'm not really a fan of indoor swimming pools. I just think it's a little much. Like, I don't know. I just don't care for it. Anyways, so yeah, we had to add some lighting on the outside, of course, because the kids are probably going to be playing and having band practice till late at night until the parents come banging on the garage door saying, do your homework, you need to get home. But yeah, so here is a little bit of the overgrowth. I love adding shrubbery and flowers and trees. I just think it adds so much to a build. And so, yeah, all of my builds pretty much always have some kind of garden shrubbery type thing if you haven't noticed already. But so here is the interior of the actual garage itself. So of course we need to keep with the typical type of garage siding that you have inside, and the bathroom is over there to the right. And I had trouble kind of picking what floor I wanted because I kind of just wanted like a basic cement floor for the garage, but then I felt that that didn't really have enough texture, so I just went with kind of like, I guess it's like a dirt kind of floor in a sense. And I didn't want this bathroom to be anything fancy because I mean it's attached to a freaking garage, so there shouldn't be a really fancy bathroom on a garage in my personal opinion, especially in a place like this. It just doesn't fit the aesthetic of it. So I had a little bit of trouble just trying to make things fit, but I just went with it, added some fluorescent lighting, some basic towels, some toiletries that you need in there, and just a little bit of something to make it a little bit nicer. So let's just say that one of the parents, the moms came in and was like, this place needs some help. So she added a little bit of her own little touch, just to give the kids the basics of what they need. So yeah, I am actually pretty pleased with this bathroom. I mean, it's not anything spectacular or amazing, and nor did I want it to be. It's not something to be like, wow, look at this design. But it's bare bones basics of what teens need. So the garage itself, I had a lot of fun with this because I've never made just like a kind of a stage practice area for anyone. And so this was really fun to just like lay out all these instruments. So, you got to have your, electric keyboard, piano, you've got your electric guitar, your acoustic guitar, the singing, and a dance floor kind of thing. Did I add a dance floor? I don't remember. I think I took that out. But yeah, I do have to admit, I don't like that when they play like that electric guitar, it still sounds like an acoustic guitar. I feel like they should have definitely made that sound electric because that bothers me. And then you've got some cool, chill, mismatching couches here and chairs for their friends to come and hang out, have some drinks, whatever, while they do their practice and watch them. And you have to have the right proper lighting for it as well. And, because we know they're probably going to have some parties here in this garage without telling their parents, if you get my drift. A lot of kids do. And so I really wanted this just to be really chill. And I really love how this turned out. Also, side note, I'm kind of disappointed that on those lamps that are on either side that you can't put anything like on the little shelf below it because I feel like that would just add a little something extra. But yeah, that's just me. Anyways, excuse me. And so we added some college flags here because they're in high school. They're probably making decisions about what colleges they want to go to, and some music posters, just random posters everywhere. You don't want it to be super organized. I mean, these are teens. Most teens aren't that organized. I mean, I was the exception to the rule. I was super organized, but I'm also like OCD when it comes to neatness. And, that's just me. That's a personal problem that I got. So, yeah. Moving on out of the garage, this is when we actually go right into creating our other hangout space. But this is the one that they would actually like watch movies and play video games in, as I mentioned earlier. So this one I wanted to create a really chill, like low key, kind of a hipster vibe, but not too much. And so I really wanted to try to have like an older couch, like one that you can definitely tell is like used. And I thought about the bohemian type couch, but it looked a little much and it didn't really fit that like cheap teenage vibe, if you get my drift. And so I just kind of went with these old ones, like the parents just had these leftovers, or their grandparents, or they got them from Goodwill. I mean, who cares? And so just added a bunch of like random stuff here to give them what they need. I mean, this is literally a space that just has what the kids need. And I really fell in love with this. I thought it was just so awesome. And like, if I had a place like this to hang out, like just little rooms that were tailored this way, like that would have been so awesome as a teenager. Like, I would have freaking loved that. And so, of course, you got to add in some random posters, video games, movies, whatnot. And like, this is seriously such a chill space, and I'm really proud of it. And I think it's going to be a really great, addition to adding it into some of my LPs that I'll be having coming out in the future as well. And so I am super excited to kind of see what else I can do with it. And of course, you got to have your mini fridge, right? You got to have your snacks when you're watching movies, playing video games, having your popcorn. I should probably have added a popcorn maker in there, huh? I might have to go back in there and do that. And then I also added some bicycles out here on the outside because, not all of them have cars. And so they're just going to ride their bicycles here. I would totally add skateboards out there if I could, if that was an option. But obviously, we know that it is not. But regardless, I am so, so happy and pleased with how this turned out. And I really hope you guys enjoy it too. So this is just so you guys can kind of see how it looks at night and just the aesthetic of it all. And so this will be added up onto the gallery if you are interested in downloading it. My information will be down in the information below, and check out some of my other builds while you are there. And I do plan on getting some more speed builds up here soon. I am just finishing editing some of the other videos, and we will get those all moving along. But regardless, guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this speed build and just seeing everything and how it looks, and I hope that you will download it and enjoy it yourself. So thank you guys so much for joining me on another wonderful speed build, and I will see you guys again soon. So see you next time.